Hey everyone and welcome. This is a really tough topic, but one that affects so many of us. Infidelity. That crushing weight of betrayal. The gut-wrenching feeling of your world shattering. I get it. I've been there. A few years ago, I found myself staring at a text message that completely flipped my life upside down. The initial shock, the disbelief, it felt like someone had ripped my heart out and stomped on it. It wasn't just the betrayal itself. It was the shattering of trust, the questioning of everything I thought I knew about my relationship, about myself. And that's why I'm here today. This isn't a video about blaming or judging. It's not about pointing fingers or offering easy answers. Because there aren't any. Infidelity is messy, complicated, and deeply painful. But what I can offer is hope. Hope for healing, hope for rebuilding, and hope for finding your way back to a stronger, more authentic you. Even after something as devastating as infidelity. This video is my promise to you that you are not alone, that you can heal, and that you will find your strength again. We're going to explore the emotional roller coaster that follows a betrayal. We'll unpack the trauma, the anger, the grief, and the crippling self-doubt. We'll discuss practical steps you can take to navigate this incredibly difficult journey. And we'll talk about forgiveness. Not just forgiving your partner, but also, and perhaps even more importantly, forgiving yourself. Because healing after infidelity is a deeply personal journey, and it starts with self-compassion. We'll cover so much ground, from understanding the long-term effects of betrayal, to building healthy boundaries and prioritizing self-care. We'll tackle the thorny issue of rebuilding trust, not just in a relationship, but most importantly in yourself. We'll discuss practical strategies and, honestly, some hard truths. This isn't going to be a quick fix, but it will be a roadmap to help you navigate the path ahead. So buckle up, grab a tissue, and let's dive in. This is going to be a powerful journey, and I'm so grateful you're here with me to take it. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and you deserve to heal. Let's get started. So we've talked about the initial shock of discovering infidelity, that gut-wrenching, earth-shattering moment. But the aftermath? That's a whole different beast. This isn't just about a broken heart, it's about trauma. Real deep-seated trauma that affects every single aspect of your life. Think about it, betrayal. That feeling of being utterly violated, your trust shattered into a million pieces. It's like having the foundation of your world ripped away. You're left reeling, questioning everything you thought you knew. Then comes the anger. Raging, consuming anger. It might be directed at your partner, at yourself, even at the world for allowing this to happen. This anger can be incredibly powerful, and it's crucial to find healthy ways to process it, not to bottle it up, but to understand its source and navigate it constructively. And the grief. Oh, the grief. You're grieving the loss of the relationship you thought you had, the future you envisioned, the trust you once held so dearly. It's a mourning process, and it deserves to be acknowledged and respected. Don't rush it, don't minimize it. Let yourself feel it fully and completely. Self-doubt creeps in too. You start questioning your worth, your attractiveness, your judgment. Did you miss the signs? Were you not enough? These thoughts can be debilitating, but they're not your truth. Your value isn't determined by someone else's actions. Remember that. And the loss of trust? That's perhaps the most pervasive and challenging aspect. It's not just about trusting your partner again. It's about rebuilding trust in yourself, in your judgment, in your ability to choose a partner who values and respects you. That takes time, patience, and often professional help. The key here is understanding the difference between that immediate, overwhelming shock and the longer-term impact. The initial shock is intense, but it's often fleeting. The long-term effects, however, can linger for months, even years if left unaddressed. Things like anxiety, depression, difficulty forming new relationships, or even PTSD can develop. It's vital to acknowledge this, to seek support, and to start building a path towards healing. Because you deserve to heal. You deserve to rebuild your life, stronger and more resilient than ever before. And that's what we're going to explore in the next section. So you've processed the initial shock, the gut-wrenching betrayal, the anger, the confusion. Now what? This is where the real work begins. Navigating the healing process. And let me tell you, it's not a straight line. Think of it more like a winding path through a forest. sometimes sunny, sometimes shadowy, but always moving forward. First, let's talk therapy. Seriously, don't underestimate the power of a professional. A therapist provides a safe space to unpack everything, to process those overwhelming emotions without judgment. They can help you understand why you're feeling the way you are, identify unhealthy patterns, and develop coping mechanisms. This isn't about fixing the past. It's about equipping yourself for the future. Next, journaling. This might seem simple, but pouring your thoughts and feelings onto paper can be incredibly cathartic. It's like having a private conversation with yourself, allowing you to process your emotions at your own pace. Don't censor yourself, just let it all flow. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. This isn't about bubble baths and face masks, but about actively prioritizing your physical and emotional well-being. Are you eating well? Getting enough sleep? Moving your body? Reconnect with activities that bring you joy, that nourish your soul. Maybe it's painting, hiking, reading, whatever recharges you. And boundaries. This is huge. Learning to set and maintain healthy boundaries is crucial, both with your partner and with others in your life. This might involve limiting contact with certain people, saying no more often, or simply protecting your energy and time. This is about respecting yourself and your needs. Finally, let's talk about codependency. Infidelity can often expose unhealthy relationship dynamics, particularly codependency. If you find yourself constantly prioritizing your partner's needs over your own, or struggling to function independently, it's important to address this. Therapy can be incredibly helpful here, providing tools to develop healthier relationship patterns and foster self-reliance. Remember, healing is a journey, not a race. There will be good days and bad days. There will be setbacks. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and don't be afraid to ask for help. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve to feel whole and happy again. So we've talked about the brutal emotional roller coaster of infidelity, the gut-wrenching pain, and the practical steps to start healing. But now, let's tackle something incredibly complex: forgiveness. And I want to be crystal clear right now. Forgiveness isn't about condoning what happened. It's not about magically erasing the hurt or saying, "It's okay, let's forget it ever happened." Nope. Forget that fairy tale. Forgiveness, in this context, is a journey, a long, winding road, not some destination you arrive at with a celebratory banner. Forgiving your partner, if you choose to, is a massive undertaking. It's about releasing the anger, the bitterness, the resentment that's eating away at you. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to acknowledge the pain and choose to let go of the grip it has on your life. Understand that this isn't a quick fix. It's a gradual process. Some days you'll feel like you're making progress, other days you'll feel like you're back at square one. That's okay. It's a winding road, remember? And just as crucial, maybe even more crucial, is forgiving yourself. This is often the hardest part. We tend to blame ourselves, replaying the events in our minds, questioning our choices, wondering if we could have prevented it. Self-blame is a vicious cycle that keeps you trapped in the past. You need to release the guilt, the shame, the what-ifs. You were hurt. You weren't responsible for your partner's actions. Repeat that to yourself until it sinks in. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to reconcile with your partner, or even want to. It doesn't mean you have to trust them again. Moving on doesn't require forgiveness. You can absolutely build a happy, healthy life after infidelity without ever forgiving your partner. Forgiveness is about your healing, your peace of mind, your ability to move forward without the weight of bitterness dragging you down. It's about reclaiming your power. Think of forgiveness as a gradual release, like slowly letting go of a heavy rock you've been carrying. You might need support, a therapist, a support group, a trusted friend. Journaling can be incredibly helpful, allowing you to process your emotions without judgment. And remember, there's no timeline for this. Be kind to yourself. Healing takes time. So take it one step at a time, one breath at a time. Focus on your journey, not on reaching some imagined finish line. Your emotional well-being is the ultimate destination. So, we've talked about forgiveness, both forgiving your partner, and perhaps more importantly, forgiving yourself. But forgiveness isn't a magic wand. It doesn't instantly erase the damage, especially the damage to your trust. This is where rebuilding trust, both in yourself and potentially in your relationship, becomes crucial. Rebuilding self-trust after infidelity is like piecing together a shattered mirror. You're not going to get it perfectly back together, but you can create something beautiful and whole, even if it looks a little different. This starts with self-compassion. You were hurt, betrayed, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. Don't beat yourself up for being a victim. Instead, acknowledge the pain, validate your feelings, and start the process of healing that inner wound. Practical strategies here are key. Therapy is invaluable. A therapist can help you unpack the underlying issues that made you vulnerable, help you process the trauma, and develop coping mechanisms for future challenges. Journaling can also be incredibly powerful. Writing down your thoughts and feelings without judgment can help you gain clarity and perspective. And self-care. That's not just bubble baths and face masks. It's about prioritizing your emotional and physical well-being. This might mean setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain your energy, and focusing on activities that bring you joy and a sense of accomplishment. Now, rebuilding trust in a relationship after infidelity? That's a whole different ballgame. It's incredibly challenging, and honestly, it's not always possible. It requires unwavering commitment from both partners, and it takes time, significant time. There's no quick fix, and the process is often painful. If you're considering rebuilding trust with your partner, several conditions must be met. Complete transparency and honesty from your partner are absolutely non-negotiable. This means facing difficult questions, acknowledging the hurt caused, and showing a genuine commitment to change. Active participation in couples therapy is also essential. A skilled therapist can guide you both through the complex process of rebuilding trust, addressing underlying issues, and establishing healthy communication patterns. Remember, rebuilding trust isn't just about words. It's about consistent actions that demonstrate genuine remorse, accountability, and a willingness to earn back your trust. And if, despite your best efforts, you can't rebuild trust, that's okay too. Leaving a relationship that continually undermines your well-being is a brave and often necessary choice. Ultimately, the journey of rebuilding trust is deeply personal. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but by focusing on self-compassion, seeking professional guidance, and prioritizing your well-being, you can emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. Remember, your healing journey is yours, and it's valid, regardless of the path you choose. So, you've navigated the storm. You've felt the raw pain, the anger, the confusion. You've started to forgive yourself, and maybe even your partner. But now what? This isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. This is about building a stronger, more resilient you. This is where the real magic happens. Moving forward isn't about forgetting. It's about redefining. It's about creating a future that's yours, shaped by your strength and your newfound wisdom. Think of it as a phoenix rising from the ashes, more beautiful, more powerful than ever before. First, let's talk goals. Not just career goals, but life goals. What truly makes your heart sing? What dreams did infidelity put on hold? Now's the time to dust them off. Maybe even rewrite them to reflect the incredible person you've become. Start small, maybe even ridiculously small, like finally trying that pottery class you always wanted. Each tiny step forward builds momentum, builds confidence, builds you. Then there's the matter of self-compassion. This isn't self-pity. It's recognizing that you've been through something incredibly difficult. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a dear friend facing a similar situation. Be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt. That's okay. Acknowledge them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Rediscovering yourself is crucial. Who are you now? What have you learned about your boundaries, your needs, your values? What are you passionate about? This is your chance to reinvent yourself, to shed old identities that no longer serve you, and embrace a new, stronger version of yourself. One who knows her worth, one who demands respect, one who is unafraid to live authentically. And you don't have to do this alone. Lean on your support system. Talk to trusted friends and family. Consider therapy. A therapist can provide a safe space to process your emotions, develop coping mechanisms, and build a personalized action plan for your healing journey. There are support groups specifically for individuals navigating infidelity. Connecting with others who understand what you're going through can be incredibly powerful. Remember, resources are abundant. Online forums, books, articles, the information is out there. Don't hesitate to seek professional help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. This isn't about fixing what happened. It's about building a future where you're empowered, confident, and truly happy. This journey is yours. Take your time, celebrate your progress, and remember that you are strong, capable, and deserving of a fulfilling life. So we've talked about rebuilding trust, finding your strength, and looking towards the future. But before we wrap things up, let's tackle some of the burning questions and bust some myths surrounding infidelity. Because let's be real, it's a messy topic, and there's a lot of misinformation floating around. One question I see popping up constantly is, does infidelity always mean the end of a relationship? And the answer is a resounding nope. It's not a simple yes or no. The decision to stay or go is entirely personal and depends on a whole bunch of factors. The severity of the infidelity, the willingness of both partners to engage in intense work, the level of remorse shown, and ultimately, whether you feel you can truly heal and rebuild trust. It's not a decision to be made lightly, and professional guidance is crucial. Don't feel pressured to make a decision before you're ready. Another common myth is that only the unfaithful partner needs therapy. Absolutely false. Infidelity deeply wounds the betrayed partner, leaving them grappling with a storm of emotions. Therapy provides a safe space to process these feelings, rebuild self-esteem, and learn healthy coping mechanisms. You deserve that support. And then there's the question of why. Why did this happen? We often get caught up in trying to understand the why, searching for some rational explanation that justifies the pain. The truth is, often there's no single easily defined reason. Infidelity is complex and often stems from a combination of factors. Unmet needs in the relationship, personal issues, communication breakdowns, or even external pressures. Understanding the why can be helpful, but obsessing over it can be incredibly damaging to your healing process. Focus on your healing, not on deciphering their actions. Many people also believe that forgiveness is a sign of weakness. It's actually incredibly brave and empowering. Forgiveness isn't condoning the actions. It's about releasing the anger and resentment that are holding you back. Remember, forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to reconcile with them or forget what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden. And yes, you can forgive yourself too. Self-forgiveness is equally vital in this process. We've had several viewers ask about rebuilding trust after infidelity, and that's a long, hard road. It requires consistent effort, complete honesty, and often professional help to navigate the complexities of rebuilding that foundation. It's not always possible, and that's okay too. Finally, let's address the idea that time heals all wounds. Time is a factor, yes, but healing is active. You have to actively work through your trauma, confront your emotions, and seek support. Don't passively wait for time to magically fix things. Actively engage in your healing. Remember, you are not alone. There is support available, and you deserve to heal and to find peace. We'll have links to resources in the description below. Now let's move on to our final section. So we've talked about rebuilding trust, finding your strength, and looking towards a brighter future. But let's be real, healing from infidelity is a huge journey, and sometimes you need a little extra support along the way. That's where this next part comes in. It's all about taking action and accessing the resources that can truly make a difference. First, I want to strongly encourage you to consider seeking professional help. A therapist specializing in relationship issues or trauma can provide a safe and supportive space to process your emotions, understand your experiences, and develop coping strategies tailored to your specific needs. Don't feel like you have to go through this alone. Talking to someone who understands can be incredibly powerful. Seriously, it's like having a skilled guide navigating you through this challenging terrain. And guess what? Finding a therapist doesn't have to be daunting. I'll be linking some helpful resources in the description below, including directories where you can search for therapists in your area, specializing in infidelity and trauma. These resources often allow you to filter by insurance, specialty, and even approach, so you can find the perfect fit. Secondly, remember you're not alone in this. Sharing your experiences respectfully, of course, can be incredibly healing. Connecting with others who understand the pain of betrayal can offer a sense of validation and community. While I can't promise a magic cure, I truly believe the power of shared experience is a big one. I'll also be linking some support groups and online forums in the description, spaces where you can connect anonymously and find understanding, compassion, and perhaps even friendship. Finally, I've also included links to some really insightful articles and resources that delve deeper into the topics we've discussed. These articles can offer further clarity, practical advice, and additional support as you navigate this journey. So remember, reaching out for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Taking care of your mental and emotional well-being is paramount. Use these resources, connect with others, and remember healing is possible. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion, but you absolutely can rebuild your life, stronger and more resilient than ever before. Don't hesitate to click on those links in the description and take that first step towards healing. You deserve it.